up-and-coming brands, both in emerging countries. So tonight we actually got two great guests with me, friends of mine as well, who are able to join. We've got Sarah Carrier, who is actually born and raised in Quebec, Canada. And then we got Fabrice Michel, who is a contemporary artist based in Paris, both Francophiles. And I leave just to them to give a brief introduction about themselves. We'll start with Sarah.
Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here tonight with you. So I have a background as a journalist, and I used to work for a music magazine in Paris for 2 years when I moved when I was 19. And after that, I work as a head of culture and lifestyle for the French and Japanese brand Maison Kitsune. I worked for them for 11 years until last year when I decided to go independent to be a creative director and photographer.
Thank you. And I know, yes, you've done a few residences this summer, so it was really nice. Please, I also urge you guys maybe to follow both Fabrice and Sarah, because they also do amazing work, and it's nice to also see what they are exploring and doing within their realm. Fabrice, to you.
Yes, hi everyone. Very nice to be with you tonight. So just very briefly, I have a very artistic background. I work, as Massimo said, as a contemporary artist. My work focuses more on conceptual art, but I also am involved in painting. So I know what it means to take brushes and pens and try to draw and paint something. I know how difficult it is. And besides that, I've been working in the communication industry for companies for more than 20 years. And then now I also teach, and I also work as a psychoanalyst. So you see, my life is kind of a puzzle, and I put this all together, and sometimes it works, and I make connections between all those fields. I try.
How do you connect psychoanalysis with illustration? Wait, I think that's a topic for another.
Yeah, it could be a long story to tell.
For another website, but interesting. So I think I'm really looking forward to the feedback you'll be giving tonight when we see the illustrations, since you have that psychoanalysis side up your sleeve. So it'll be great to see.
I'm not sure I'm going to bring it though, but.
Okay, so the aim of tonight, as most of you, as all of you are aware, was to sort of analyze the four cities, London, New York, Paris, and Milan, to look at the fashion weeks and to identify maybe some shows, more than one, that you enjoyed, that you liked, and you wanted to illustrate in real time. This season, we were looking at Spring-Summer 2025. And I have to say there was lots happening this season, mostly in terms of news about the fashion industry, with these rotating chairs the whole time. I don't know if you guys were all updated, but we're on the edge of our seats in what's happening. So we had the debut in Paris of Alessandro Michele with Valentino. We saw the Celine Spring-Summer 25 show, which was absolutely amazing. That's my personal opinion, with lots of tweed, lots of jewelry, lots of references to Chanel. And lo and behold, a couple of days after, we found out that Eddie Slimane has left. Celine got replaced by Michael Ryder, who actually worked 10 years with Phoebe Philo, and he's coming back. So now is Celine going to get the accent back again? Is Celine going to go back to sort of a Phoebe Philo-esque aesthetic? What is going to happen over there? We also saw, so is Eddie Slimane going to be going to Chanel? Chanel's been going on the past couple of seasons just with the design team, with no actual head designer. Margiela, what is happening with Margiela? We don't know. There's all these talks. Is Galliano going to leave? Is he not going to leave? Who's going to replace him? In Milan, we were, Tom Ford. It was a studio that presented the collection. We're waiting for either Ackerman to come and actually design the first season. Loewe got a standing ovation, Jonathan Anderson, from his peers, but also from the guests. It was really great. But again, there's all these voices of maybe he might be leaving. And is Pierpaolo Piccioli actually going to be going to Fendi? That's another thing. So we left with lots of questions more than answers during this fashion week. And we really want to know what is going to happen. London, on the other side, if we look on the other side of the pond, London was actually celebrating its 40th anniversary of London Fashion Week. So that was really great. Sarah Moa has organized a retrospective, an anthology to celebrate the Fashion Week, which is really great. Looking at key people from the past that have become important with London Fashion Week, but also keeping this, really focusing on new talents. I think what was really great is the British Fashion Council this year is also focusing a lot on younger, Black, Asian, and queer designers, so really highlighting this demographic that's out there. So it's really great. I love that London is always about inclusivity and really, making sure that everybody has a voice as being part of everything. So that's really great. So yes, so we're really excited to be able to see tonight the illustrations that have been sent through by your artists. And we're looking forward also, to sharing the feedback from Sarah and from Fabrice to understand what is going on. We saw lots of things happening in, lots of the 70s vibes that are happening. There's a sporty vibe. We don't know if that is due to the Olympics, which just happened, but we've seen also in Dior, Maria Grazia Chiuri really did this amazing sports collection mixed with sort of the couture. And asymmetrical is so much in the one-legged trouser. I don't know if I can pull it off, to be honest, but we've seen it at Coperni, we saw it at Vuitton, Victoria Beckham. It's all, again, about showing the skin. There's a soft tailoring that's coming through. And I'm not sure if any of you guys did it, but also like Yves Saint Laurent with Vaccarello, it was absolutely stunning. This going back to the heritage of what the Saint Laurent woman was. So this year we really saw, this season, there's lots of lace, the sports casual, the brocades, the metallics, the bodysuits. So it's really, really nice. I think, we're setting up for a wonderful summer of 2025. So I'm just going to share my screen now. And that way we can start, voila, looking at our first artist that we have. Excuse me a second. I'm not that technological savvy. And voila. So our first artist, we've got Deborah Braca. Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, that's correct.
Hi, Deborah. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Good, thank you. Maybe you could just give us a little brief introduction. Where are you? Where in the world is Deborah? And what are you about?
Yeah, sure. So I am French. I'm originally from Paris, but I currently live in the South Pacific in French Polynesia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and as I was in so it's the morning right now for me, so it's good.
Okay, bright. So you've had your cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm still having a second one. Yeah, I'm having the second one.
Okay.
What else? I've been working as a graphic designer for the last 15 years, and I've had an interest in illustration for ever since I can remember. But I really got involved into it maybe from 2012, getting into live drawing classes for 3 years in Paris. And then I just started to introduce it a little bit in my graphic design work, but didn't really know where it was going to get me. And one day someone told me, you could make a job out of this. And I had absolutely no idea. So for the last 2 or 3 years, I started to look into what I could do in terms of illustration, because you could do absolutely anything. And the more I explored, the more I was drawn to the body, the curves, the movement, people walking, and then into fashion illustration. And so that's how it got me here.
Great. And let me ask you, so with this fashion week, I see you've chosen Paris.
Yes.
Why? What did you like about the Paris fashion? Was that just by default, or like?
It was just the location, because I was there at the time of it. Even though I couldn't get any tickets to get in, I just thought, it was maybe a bit of a tribute to where I'm from, and just choosing some collections or designers that I that I knew that I loved already something about them. So the reason why I chose Balmain, for example, it was a very structured garments, you know, the shoulders are emphasized, the hips as well. It brings a lot of femininity. So that's something that I really was looking forward to see. And yeah, that's where it got me.
And I like it was really I like that he had these faces. And what was interesting was in 2012 he did an interview, and they asked him, you know, what inspires him, and he was always saying that the face is the most interesting and the sexiest feature of a person. So it was really great that, you know, like now 14 years later, he's still where he is. He's actually the longest serving creative director. He's not part of these moving chairs, so he's been there quite a while. He's done a fantastic job with Balmain. We've had the fortune to work a lot with him, and also for him to be a mentor with our students, which is really great. But I love that, you know, from this conversation he had with the journalist in 2012, bam, it's in his fashion show now, you know, like the face is on there with the sequence. And like you said, the shoulders are really nice. So what technique did you use to illustrate the Balmain look?
So I used ink for the hair, pastels and pencils for the face, because I wanted to have a bit of shadows and depth. And then for the jacket, it was all in acrylic and gouache.
Okay. I love
I wanted to bring a lot of texture and volume.
And I love the texture. I love sort of the unfinished side on the left, from, well, my left, you know, we sort of, you've got a bit of like the sequence sort of scattered around and coming into the picture is quite nice. And for me, the black line that you have on the other side is sort of this reference to Gruot, which is for me, one of the best, one of the most iconic illustrators. I wouldn't say, you know, there's lots out there, but he really ranks one of the highest to me. So it's really, I really like how you did the Balmain. I don't know if Sarah, you would like to comment?
Yes. Well, first of all, I think it's really beautiful. I love the facial expression and the angle that you decided to go with. I think it's like very like it's beautiful, and also like with the has, like Massimo said, like the ball on the side really like emphasize the jacket, which is something that I really like. I also appreciate the colors without like having like going too much. It really like fits well with the drawing. The one thing I would have had would be maybe like more like in the background atmosphere to get a sense of
Yes.
like the storytelling, but really that would be my only comment.
I agree with that. I was a bit short on time, I have to say, but yeah, that's the last thing that I would have wanted to take some time to think about, like what kind of background I could add
Mhm.
behind this.
Yeah, because you've got
Just,
the background in the Miu Miu, which really completes
yeah,
the picture. Fabrice,
yeah.
your comment on the Balmain look?
Yes, sure. Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope. Yes. I really like this drawing. There is one word that comes to my mind when I look at it. It's risk. There is something that I feel risky. For example, Massimo, you were talking about this, black line on the right
Yes.
side, for example, that is like, I guess, something you've done in one gesture and that could have ruined
Mm.
everything, and that does not at all. And I also like
Yeah.
very much the fact that there is something at the limit of abstraction and
Mm.
unfinished, which I really appreciate, because somehow I get something, but I don't really understand everything in the picture. And that's what I like about it.
Okay.
And the other thing that strikes me is there is some kind of layering of textures and patterns with these little dots on the right side and on the left side. And then you mentioned a lot of different techniques that you used. And in a way, I can see this because, there is a lot of subtleties, but in the same time, it is very integrated. So I think it is very well done and very interesting. Just maybe as a comment, I am interested in I was talking about all those textures I feel. and there is this some kind of layering, and maybe it could be interesting that this layering is a bit could be a bit more unsync. So, you know, the dots could also maybe jump a little bit on some other parts of the drawing, and that's it, to make it a little more bit more even more abstract, let's say, because the risk is there, and maybe you can push the risk even further to go in something even more impressionist, some kind of.
Yes.
That's it, and I really like it.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, all of you, for the nice comments. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
you so much. All right, next we got Christy Lee.
I don't know if she'll be here, Mass. So if you can give, because she's
Okay.
she'll be asleep.
Oh, okay, she's asleep. I have to say that I really did enjoy the Miu Miu show. Also, it was like in a factory, not a factory, what do you call it, where they print newspapers. So just the whole surrounding and setting was amazing. They had sort of these conveyor belts with the images going around. William Defoe closed the show. We had Hilary Swank. So as always, I think as part of sort of the Prada-esque universe, Miuccia, she really knows how to make a scene. The clothes as well, it's very true to the brand. And I have to say, Miu Miu is also one of the brands. It's actually the only diffusion brand that is left, with all the others, but you know, that from the early 2000s that are still around and actually equally as strong as the mother brand. So I think for me, she's captured really well sort of the aesthetic of Miu Miu, like with the high socks, you know, that she's wearing, that sort of like schoolgirl effect. It's almost like she's wearing a tie. I do like the fact that she's got the audience behind, or like the people, and also just like the little, like the lines, the pencil, you know, like those little marks behind are really quite nice. It's almost like shading, but I really like that. And also I like sort of the handwritten text of the Miu Miu. You know, it's really like her coming into it is quite nice. And then I assume it's watercolor behind with the colors. I don't know, Sarah and Fabrice, any comments you'd like to say?
I really love the movement that she catch through, like the movement, the flow. We can feel the aesthetic, the atmosphere with the people in the background. And also I agree with you about the shadows that we can feel through the fabrics. And of course the socks. I think it really, you know, we kind of recognize the Miu Miu aesthetics. So yeah, no, I think she really has her own style, like by this drawing. Yeah.
Yes. Fabrice?
Well, you kind of said it all, because I agree with you both.
Okay.
Yeah, I also like the movement, but also because there is something that could be almost considered as goofy in the movement. Like, for example, if you watch the first character at the foreground, you know, she has the two arms at the same level, which usually is not really the case when you walk. You know, the arms are going back and forth. But if you catch them at that moment where they cross, they're at the same level, it gives some weird feeling of the movement, which I think actually really works and gives something a bit special and strange to the picture. Same thing for the other character that has something a bit flat and an Egyptian, some kind of. But that's what I like. It's the fact that it is not the perfect movement, and that what gives character to me, to the drawing. And I guess it can be, you know, on purpose. And yeah, to me, it has some personality.
Great. So now let's go. Now,
Maybe sorry.
yeah.
I was thinking, you know, back to Deborah and comparing to this one. For example, Deborah, if I may ask you, would you see this kind of production you made more in editorial use, or more as an artistic piece, and or documentary? We were talking about this a little bit before, because, for example, in the case of Christie that we just saw, there can be something very documentary to me. But would you say, Deborah, this is the case on your drawings, for example?
No, I would think more of an editorial use for what I did. I'm not sure about the artistic yet, so I'm not that confident into what I do for the moment. But yeah, more of an editorial.
Okay,
No,
that's what I feel as well. You know, if we compare those two pictures that are together on the same page.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've got Nina Huddlemeyer. Hope I pronounced it right. New York and Asui. Is she online?
Have you switched the pages, Mass? It's not moved.
Oh, yes. Why is it not?
We're still on the same pages.
I'm not. Okay. Let me try reshare again.
If not, I can share if you want.
Is it moving?
Yes.
It's on Julie Chen now.
Okay, here we go. Nina Huddlemeyer and
Yes.
Asui. Can you see it?
I don't know if Nina's here. Let me check. Can I see? So no Nina, and oh, Sarah's here. So maybe we can talk about Sarah's work on the other side. Sarah Johnson.
Sure. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
So, I guess you're in the UK?
Yes, in the yeah, probably tell by the accent. Yes, in the UK, based in the east of England. So yeah.
Welcome. Thank you so much. And tell us what made you choose Gucci?
I mean, I'm just a big fan of Gucci. I love the aesthetic. And this particular image, I actually have this scarf from when I was like 18. So they've obviously, you know, it's kind of seeing this sort of thing come back. And I just thought, oh, it's one of my favorite things that I own. So I had to capture that. But yeah, why Gucci? I just think, yeah, that I just love the aesthetic, that kind of really cool, almost a nod to that 70s vibe, as you were saying. And I have to say, I was really drawn in by the fact that they had like Daisy Edgar Jones on the front row. I was like, oh, I definitely need to see the show. And I just loved the whole thing. And yeah, as I say, yeah, I quite like illustrating accessories. I quite like illustrating faces. So that's why I kind of zoned in on that for this particular piece.
Okay. It's nice that well, the floral print or that, yeah, Gucci, it's part of its DNA. It's amazing. It was actually created for Grace Kelly. So yeah, it's quite nice, and I love how they've maintained the connection with her family. So a couple of years ago, her granddaughter Charlotte Casiraghi was sort of part of the new face of the flora. So it's quite nice. But I love how you said you love accessories, because there's the glasses and then there's a scarf, but you've really sort of focused on the scarf, and it makes sense now because you're saying you love it. You've got the scarf yourself.
Yeah.
And do love the contrast of sort of the detail really on the top section, you know, of the scarf, and just sort of the outline of the face underneath. It's really nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I leave to Sarah.
Hi. I think it's like, I think it's really precise and like delicate. That's the word that I was looking for. I like the few lines of like that define the faces, and as you said, like the focus on the accessories, we can feel it. The colors that is, you know, only on the flower prints. It's I like the facial expression as well, even though again this is delicate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fabrice?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I like it as well, and the words that I was looking for in my head just came out. I can feel some nostalgia, and which actually suits quite well with Gucci, but probably as well with your own story. That's what you were saying somehow. But I think there is some nostalgia in the drawing itself, in the sense that yes, there is some more precision on the top, but the rest of the drawing is almost vanishing, kind of, you
Like the
know?
eyes, not like the gaze is sort of
Exactly.
yeah.
And so there is also something about it's fragile, kind of, and that's what I like what Sarah was saying. You know, she was saying delicate, I'm saying fragile. It's kind of the same thing. And I was actually making this exercise sometimes when I try to appreciate a picture. You know, I look at it and I half close my eyes to really see the strong points. And when I do this on your drawing, what happens is that the eyes and the mouth are disappearing. And I get, you know, the strong presence of the outlines and the glasses. And it gives me the feeling that it's even more interesting when it's vanishing even more. And if I had to push it further to some extremity, I could even erase the eyes and the mouth and keep the outlines of the face and the glasses and the top detailed. In a way, we would lose, you know, some details of the eyes and the look, which is maybe a bad idea because it's very well done and I can see the way she looks at things. But this vanishing thing, you know, I don't know. It's something that I like in your drawing, and I think you can even push it more. But that's subjective opinion, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. And okay, so Nina's not here, but I have to say I do love the sort of like this retro aspect of, I don't know, it reminds me of something like the 50s. Who's that artist? Is it Hopper? I don't know. Oh my God, there's like an American illustrator who used to do in this style, but it's really, really nice. I really like it. You know, then again, Anna Sui is all about sort of this bohemia, this like 70s vibe, and you know, and I think it comes across. And I really like the bottom of the scarf, how it's almost like unfinished and it's like blurred the lines. I really like it. Very old school.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the use of the color are really like striking for like the mood presenting. And yeah, I really, again, the glasses are taking a lot of space with the dark highs. No, there's like a very defined style. You say retro, you know, it's like, yeah, it's definitely.
Fabrice?
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the contrast between the very flat surfaces of the background and the glasses, and then the more textured and gestural parts of it. I think
I
it
like
gives
the glasses almost look like they're real, sort of placed on top. It kind of gives you that optical illusion.
And I like the use of different techniques here. I wonder what it is exactly, like what she used.
Yeah, I don't know. Pat, do you know by any chance?
I think she's used Procreate. So this is done on the iPad.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
that's why we couldn't say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now we go to Julie Chen.
I don't know if she's on the call. Is Julie on here? No. So we could quickly go over this and discuss these two pieces.
Yeah. So I love two different styles that she's going for here. I don't know, like I'm immediately drawn to the portrait on the left. I like the simplicity of it. It's really nice. And the pencil, and I love that there isn't a clean line, like also the colors, you know, it's like going over so many times. And I love this unneatness that's there. I think it really emphasizes, and also like this gray tone. It's like very delicate, the gray tone that she's done on the face. On the one on the right, I have to say, I'm more attracted to sort of the way she's illustrated the lights behind than the figure. I don't know, like even again, I think it's just because you got the pencil and then she's gone over with watercolor or something. And you know, I just love when you've got these two layers that come across. I think for me, the woman, it's a nice illustration, but maybe it's too complete. It was nice when there's this unfinishedness and this rawness, like the portrait on the right and the background, the lights on the background. Those are my pennies worth.
I think it's I feel really immersed into the drawing on the right. There's a lot of elements, and I feel it's almost like a picture, like being a photographer. I feel like we have the windows, we have, you know, the lights, we have many colors. I feel like if we were sitting there, so it's like totally opposite from the focus on the portrait that seems very delicate, well, is delicate to me. And as you said, like, we see the different thread, it's very like thin. So like, I like to have them both side by side. I feel it's a good combo because then you can really feel our own style. Especially the focus that we don't have on the woman that is standing, that we more have like on the left. I think I would have had more colors on the lips to kind of strict, you know, like kind of break something that is very, you know, delicate. I would have had like maybe more red of something. But again, that's my personal choice. But I like to see like both drawings together, actually.
Thank you. Fabrice?
Again, I agree with you both. Yeah, I also like the picture on the left, the portrait with it is very classical, okay? And that's what I like about it. It's just like very delicate and classical. So yeah, but that's I have nothing more to say about it. It's very well done, very nice, very delicate, very classical. About the picture on the right, I agree with you, Massimo. And also I saw the show, and the lighting during this show was really soft and integrating everything, playing with all those lights in the space. And I really love the background and the way she painted the you know, all those lamps. It gives a very nice atmosphere of colors and stuff, but I agree that the character is maybe too outlined,
Yeah.
and the color is maybe not matching enough with the background to integrate the character into the atmosphere. That's what I think. And generally, I think the use of edges and outlines is something that can be very difficult because it can you know, finish the shapes, and it's difficult if you want to integrate it in an atmosphere, which was actually something very important, I think, for this show, the global atmosphere of the lighting. But I really appreciate the background, and I think there is a lot of atmosphere. It's just a matter of little settings to me.
No, they're both really nice. And it's nice the versatility of the artist to be able to sort of, her style is there, but also to sort of change it with the different illustrations. Okay, so this brings us to Lisa Nikitina. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yes, she's here, I think. I saw her.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Walking.
On my lunch. Real quick.
Where are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Trying to. Do you see me?
Yes. Whereabouts are you?
I don't. Oh, okay. So I was working down this process, and I'm Ukrainian, so sometimes I can be silly with the words. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you both. Nice to meet you both. Nice to meet you.
Tell about myself, or
yes, a bit about yourself and why you chose these two designers.
So in my education, I'm a classic artist, but now I'm absolutely in love with the digital and Procreate. And as I moved from Ukraine, I immigrated to another country. Now I'm in Florida in USA. I got used to this, so I'm starting from the zero. And before that, I was working in for 10 years, like creative illustrator with the brands for creative communication agency. We worked worldwide with different customers. So I was really lucky to get there after my college. And now I'm choosing the Paris one because I like the collection. I like different shapes and something unusual that can catch your eye. And I try to work on my style right now and make it so I'm like a classy artist from the Petersburg Academy, and now I'm trying to paint with my feelings here
Okay.
because we have different schools. And I participated with a Missoni project. I've started this, and now I'm trying to move ahead with my style. Hope
Great.
you like it.
No, it's very interesting. Like the one on the left, the Rick Owens. Explain a bit about that one. What did you, is that with Procreate? What did you use?
Yes. So basically, I'm in love with the Max Sulichny brushes. That makes me feel like I'm drawing with a pastel.
Okay.
And the whole style actually based on this brush. But I like also to involve the watercolor, and the Rick Owens collection was made by me like a few months ago, and I was absolutely inspired by the shoes. It is it making you feel like very gorgeous. I don't know, while you move in those floating boots with the Rick Owens. It's very good. I'm very nervous. I'm sorry. I'm
No, don't worry.
nervous more about the English than about the
Your
words.
English, your English is fine. It's better than mine. But no, I love it. Almost looks like a lobster. I love the. It's a pity you didn't get some of the background in because it's got this amazing location, Palais de Tokyo, you know, which has these beautiful like statues behind and everything. But I love you want to do focus on this. It's really nice, which is very different to what you did for Margiela. And they're both beautiful, the ones you did for Margiela. Like the one in the middle, let's just say, it's again this focus sort of on the face with the hat and the socks and the shoes, and then sort of the body is sort of transparent, you know, but we can see it because you've got the very light brocade coming through, which is nice. And then on the one on the right, it's really much more complete. Three different styles, but like really, you know, but I think it's something really strong which you've got there, which is fantastic. And I like your attention to detail. Even like the face is really well done, but also the cap. It almost has this like Gustav Klimt sort of effect with all these like gold little tassels or
Yeah,
little.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Oh, I think it comes across. We
And
can
also the Caravaggio works as they lighten from
with the
inside.
light.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
No, really nice. I leave it now to Sarah and Fabrice also to give some comments. But really nice. Well done.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
I really enjoy these. I think they have like something. The one thing that I have that comes to my mind in common is that there's like this sense of movement, although you did not had any background, but we can feel like in the first illustration, we can feel this person moving, but then it's really the focus is on the accessories, which is also what we find in the two other ones. And with the hat, as Massimo said, and also the few thread that you have on the like the faces as well, but we see like with the hands on the second one, like the kind of the brushes that you had, we feel the movement as well, also like with the shoulder in the last one. So you have like this emphasis on the accessories and the movement that I truly appreciate and that I think are really strong.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fabrice.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Very beautiful indeed. Maybe my choice would go to the ones from Margiela that I think are somehow more personal, but that's what I feel, because this is where you actually also show maybe more your technique, and I can say that I can tell there is a lot of technique that you master. You were saying you were a classical artist and painter, and I can see that. I really like the way you work with zones, like, you know, the heads and the bag, as we were saying, or the hat of the woman on the right. And some zones are blurry, some zones are very at the limit of abstraction. And that's what actually strikes me when I look at it. It's like it is going back and forth from illustration to abstraction. And speaking of references, what came to my mind actually was something quite French Parisian, just like Toulouse-Lautrec, maybe because you use the, this, I don't know if you have in mind the work of Toulouse-Lautrec.
Yes, of course.
And-
Mais oui.
And with the use of this background, the tonality of the background, and also the kind of representation, even if it's far from that. But more surprisingly, I thought also about Francis Bacon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because of the use of some zones that become a bit distorted and at the limit of abstraction. And if I want to see it with Francis Bacon glasses, I can see something about it. So I don't know what you can do with that, but that could be something to think. And about the Rico ones, yeah, it is very well done. It's balanced, and yeah, as Sarah was saying, there is movement, and it's actually really showing Rick Owens' work. But to me, it is a little bit less personal. That's what my subjective feeling, but it's very nice as well.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we move to London. Erdem, is Tamio Hashimoto on here? Or is she?
Let me have a look. She probably isn't because she's Japan. So
Okay.
we could give some feedback and
Yeah, and then we can, because I know we kind of running out of time. And so Erdem, I love like this collection. I think as always, there's the garden, the femininity, this ethereal aesthetic. And what was nice about this collection was he was actually based, he was inspired by a series of English lesbian writers actually. So it was really nice how, and I think that's one thing I love about Erdem is like the culture. He's always referencing literature and translating that into his aesthetic, which is nice. And I think in his illustrations, I kind of like the little scribbles which hint to the flowers, and like this dash of orange that comes through in the one in the middle is quite nice. For me, the portrait on the left, it feels like something very traditional sort of Japanese style, no? I don't know if it's also because she has a little monogram at the bottom, but like the aesthetic is very much that. But I really do, I think I like this sort of naivety that comes across with the illustrations, especially the Erdem ones, the green ones. I don't know what the two of you think, Fabrice and Sarah.
I like the body, the way that the bodies are, like the way that it's composed. I think it's very different from the previous ones, and the space that is being like padded, but then it can let it breathe and like let the fabric breathe as well. I like the colors as well. I think it's it's precise, it's detail. I like as well like the portrait as no, it's I like the accessories that is like on faces on the portrait on the left. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I like it as well very much. What actually strikes me more, I think, is the fact that there are literally missing parts in the drawing.
The face, like the nose is missing sort of in the
Yeah, the
profile.
nose is missing. The how do you say this part here
But
is
the
missing.
forehead.
Yeah, the forehead. Thank you. And same thing for the drawings on the right. And this use of negative space or negative drawing, I think, is very interesting. It may be also very Japanese because, I remember the writing of the traditional Japanese painter saying, I'm not painting the leaves of the tree, I'm painting the wind that goes by, So, and that's what I feel, this kind of feeling of, missing parts, which I like because it's not outlined really totally. And so, yeah.
And like even the columns behind, the three models, the subtle hint of, that there's steps and columns there, but it's like it's almost like this painted watermark, which is really nice. Very delicate.
Elusive.
Yeah, really nice. Okay, now we go Tracy.
Tracy's here.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello, hi.
I love these. Did you use crayons? It looks like crayons.
The Vuitton one I did, yeah, that's like pastel and crayon and
Dry pastels, right? Or
yeah,
the,
soft pastels.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the one on the Marni one is all ink, pretty much ink.
Oh wow, nice. I love the color behind the Marni one. It's almost a sort of like aubergine. I don't know if that's on my screen it looks like this aubergine, which is really nice. I love the illustrations. I think they both capture the essence of the brands. And I mean, even the Vuitton one was fantastic with like all these trunks sort of rising up to create the catwalk, and all these sort of like patchwork of metallics and, you know, all these bright colors on the garments. I think it's really nice, and you really, really captured it really beautifully. Me, I love when I was at school doing art, I loved pastels. So
Yeah.
I loved the idea. I used oil pastels and dry pastels as well. And I just love just sort of smudging. There's something nice about, you know,
How you don't get
having,
an hard edge as much. Yeah.
you don't need
sort
to be
of-
so neat about it. It's
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. It's
I
really,
think that was my aim with that one, was just to be a bit messy with it and just
but
yeah.
really nice. And I love, I don't know, there's something quite elegant in the Armani one, you know, like this movement. And also I think the color of her cobalt blue sort of jumper with the background is this really nice color balance, chromatic balance, which is happening over there. Really nice. I leave it to our two experts as well to give better detail than me.
I agree with Massimo. I really enjoy the crayon here, and we really feel your own style. I particularly like the Marni one. I love the way that, you know, that you capture the hat and like the face, and it's like with the, yes, I don't, is it the aubergine color? I don't know how to say it, but like
Yeah,
it
aubergine
rings
color,
a
I guess.
bell.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, very, very pretty. I love it. I love the movement. I love the way you've put it together, the angle choose from above as well. Like the fact that it's different. We have the face one, but also like, yeah, I like the angle. It speaks to me a lot.
Yeah. Hi.
Is it aubergine? It's like that game. What color is this on Instagram? You know, when we try to decide what color it is.
Yeah.
Depends on everyone's screen as well, I guess.
Exactly, yeah, probably.
I really liked it as well. Besides, I like all the use of the texture you did. What makes it also different for me, what strikes me is I think you really have a sense of space. And I was looking at the one from Vuitton, and I was interested in the fact that the background is almost black, but not really, and it has some depth, even though it's flat. And this is reinforced also by the angle, as Sarah was saying, that you used, that distorts some kind of the perspective of the catwalk that is like a line, a bend, but it's not really into perspective. So, and same thing if we look at the Marley one, there is this character coming to the front, but the background is blurred. So there is some kind of depth also in the space to me. And that's what really gives some power to the pictures. And actually, I think I'm trying always to see my own subjective opinion if I would do this and if I had to try to push it further, maybe I think it could be interesting to play even more on this contradiction between space and flatness. Maybe the characters, modeling less the characters and working more on flatness and textures, but still giving space, this sense of space and layers and perspective.
Okay.
Maybe, or not.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you.
Okay, Valia. Is Valia
on here? I think I saw her. Valia, are you on here? She was earlier.
Valia Papadopoulou, Greek.
Yeah, she was on and she maybe has been cut off, or I don't know. But anyway, this is.
I don't know if this is Procreate or I can't tell anymore on screen. It's you know, but Fabrice, you mentioned something before. I think with Deborah, you said risk, by doing the black outline. I love here that Valya's decided to choose a back view, where we don't really sort of see the garment. So there's also like this risk in selecting, when we're depicting Fashion Week, it's all about seeing the garment. It's about, and here's sort of like the back, and it's quite nice. And God, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but Hui, the brand, is all about mixing craftsmanship, traditional Chinese techniques with modern contemporary Western aesthetics. And it's quite nice how she's focusing on this detail, even like the little thin plait of hair coming down, the braid there, the comb, it's really nice. And the colors, like sort of the earrings with that orange coral. I don't know, with these screens, you never know anymore. But like, there's this focus. You've got the 2 points, which are with the earrings, the solid background, sort of the orange on the comb. So it's really nice chromatically. And then, also the Tom Ford one, it's really great. I love the attitude that's really coming across. It's really nice. I leave it to you two.
I agree with you. The attitude of the Tom Ford one is really it's hitting me. I love it. I love it.
Really
It's
like
looking at you straight in the eyes. There is like the strong position, like holding the bag. And yeah, no, I love it. I feel like it's, as a photographer, it feels like it just struck a moment, and she really represented it nicely, beautifully in the drawing. And I totally agree with you, Massimo. It's the fact that she picked someone from the back is also risky, and it's beautifully made because it really unfazed on the accessories. And yes, so it represents also the brand. So that's perfectly done.
It's really beautiful. And also like the detail in the hair, again, these 2 contrasting techniques that she's using. It's really, really nice.
And the orange background as well. I think you on the catwalk, you don't especially like see this angle. So I think it's again, it's like a position. It's risky, but it's beautifully made.
Fabrice, what do you think?
As well, same thing as you said. I really like the attitude of the woman on the right, and I'm also, I think what strikes me is the fact that the eyes are red, which is something that really works in the picture. So she's really looking at me. And now I think about what you were saying, Massimo, about the fact that she took the risk to paint the back, and I look at it again, and I see actually this flat object, the brush that she has in her hair, that is very like this element standing up front. And if you actually see those 2 pictures together, it's like they're both looking at you somehow. One from the back and one with this look. And yeah, I'm a little personally more attracted to the one on the left. I don't know, because of the subtlety of the lines of the hair in the back, and the fact that she represents a back and this object up front.
And that slight movement with the earring, like
yeah,
it's suspended, this earring on the left there.
Oh yeah, you can feel the movement as well.
No,
yeah,
really.
yes.
But no, God, attitude, she got it spot on with the Tom Ford one, definitely. And I think this is the last page.
Yes.
The Marta.
She's not on here. She's putting her kids to bed.
Oh, okay.
Reality.
Reality, 3 different styles. I like how the Valentino, it's all embraced in red with the red Valentino, but when we look at the show that's just happened, it was all this whiteness, this smoke. For me, it reminded me a lot of some it was Death in Venice, it had that sort of aesthetic, like the paleness, this Thomas Mann aesthetic came through. So it's quite nice that she really gave this like red twinge to it, which is nice. The Loewe is really great as well. It almost looks a mix between sort of a photograph, the dress, so really well done. And then like that blurred sort of audience in the background. And also the main one on the front. I like the contrast, it's Well, actually, it's a tree color. We've got it's red, white, and blue. It's an homage to France with the illustrations. But no, I think the Loewe is really nice. It's really striking the dress. I think it's really, really nice.
Definitely. I think like it's really elegant and it's very, I love the combination of them three together because you have like different angles, you have, and as you said, it feels like we are there, we can feel the atmosphere. There's something like a time that is suspended when I look over these. They're really well done. We can feel like the the levels on the dress. It's beautiful. I love it. And the faces as well, the thread, the delicate, the makeup. It's
This attention to detail, no? It's like impressive.
definitely.
Did this Procreate as well then?
I think some are Procreate and some are maybe markers. I think the Simone Rocha one is the main one is maybe, but as we said, we can't tell now.
Oh,
I
no,
can't
nowadays
tell on that one, but the other two are definitely Procreate. She really mixes. She was the one who did the main poster at the Paris Olympic thing.
Oh, okay.
Colorful one. So she's a graphic designer and a print designer.
Oh, nice.
It's her background, so I guess we can see this technique.
Fabrice, what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely very skilled. What really strikes me is the presence of the face looking at me on the main one. I think this is very, very powerful. I mean, the look of the character. Yeah, I also like the monochromatic approach every time. As you were saying, the homage to France. I don't know, but I like this. And yeah, so I'm very intrigued by the background of the blue one.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. I like there is some kind of geometrical abstraction in this one because behind there is like a stripe and then the second vertical and the horizontal and draws like a white rectangle behind. I really like this kind of radicality. Yeah, it's very.
Do you think the drawing might be more interesting in the Loewe one if it was just all blurry characters?
What I thought is it could be interesting, but that is very, very personal. Again, artists do what they actually want to do. But what disturbs me is the face. Not that the face is not well done. The face is very, very well done. But I think if the face was flat, it could really play more with the background and the blurriness of the background and this white rectangle. It could play more with the spatiality of flat image. I don't know how to say that, but I don't know. That's very difficult to explain, but a very personal opinion. But yeah, definitely the character is maybe a little bit less interesting than the background, but still the background exists because there is a character in front. So maybe it could be interesting, but I think I said that before to someone else, to play more with the dialogue between foreground and background, and not only picture, putting a foreground and a background and trying to maybe playing more with these special approaches that can make the image in itself sometimes maybe more interesting. But
Great, thank you. And it's nice how she's, 3 illustrations, 3 different techniques, 3 different backgrounds. So well, okay, the main one doesn't have, but it's nice to see how she's really exploring and pushing the illustrations. Really nice. So this was our last artist for tonight, which brings us to the end. So thank you again to everybody for participating tonight, for all the artists. It was really great to be able to see your work and to hear from you, and just keep drawing, keep participating. Fida is a great platform. It offers really a lot of opportunities to do the illustrations, and again, to be able to get feedback from people who are in the sector. It's always great, and keep in touch. you know. Pat, I don't know if there's any closing remarks you would like to say. Thank you again, Sarah, Fabrice, so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
It's
Yes.
rainy Parisian night, but
No, I'm just I guess from me is, you know, it's great to hear from artists, photographers, image makers, not only illustrators. So it's, you know, we know everyone's time is valuable. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, because we know everybody is busy and going on Zoom is deadly. We don't want to spend too much time on Zoom. So, you know, we're really grateful and thank you for your feedback, and it really helps. And there's some really good ideas there that we haven't heard from previous ones where it maybe was more illustrators. So it's quite nice to hear what you had to say and thinking outside of the box of looking away around the edges, looking at the space, the negative space. And I think all of them little points give people ideas. And I guess the other part is having a bit more courage to make more mistakes. I think that would be listening to all of you, is that sort of willingness to fail and then relearn again and bring it back into your work. And I think that's the most challenging part, is to make bad work and learn from it. But thanks so much, and thanks for your time. And it was good. We kept it just in over an hour. So well done, Mas. Good time management.
9 minutes over. Yeah, cool.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks,
All
and
right,
have a
guys,
great
thank you very
night.
much. Have a great
Thank you.
evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.